Hi everyone! So I'm back today with a video on my skincare routine. I will just jump right into it. My favorite products that I'm using right now. So I guess I'll just walk through my skincare routine like on a nightly basis, or like what I do to prep my skin for bed at night, and it's pretty much the same for the daytime, but just with a couple other different products. So at night, at the end of the day, when I need to take my makeup off, I always use like an oil emulsifying oil makeup remover. This is the one that I'm using right now. It's by Belief. It's called Cleansing Gel Oil Enriched, and it's like a lot of other oil-based removers on the market where you pump a couple pumps into your palm, and then you do this, and then you put it all over your face, and then unlike normal oil, if you just use straight oil, you would need to use something else to wash it off. But these type of makeup removers have emulsifying compounds in the formula which allow the oil to kind of dissolve off of your skin when it comes into contact with water. So then you just splash some water in your face and rinse it all off. And sometimes I just do that to cleanse my skin, but a lot of other times I feel like I just want to go over it with a normal cleanser one more time just to make sure that everything is off. And so one of my favorites for that is the Shiseido Ibuki, this is a Japanese brand, gentle cleanser, and this is just a really great non-stripping but foaming cleanser that it makes me feel like my skin is getting clean, but it also doesn't strip any of the natural oils from my skin, so that I never feel like it's drying me out. I have very oily skin, but I think one of the biggest mistakes for people with oily skin is they're like, oh, like I have to dry my skin out, but that's really not good for your skin. This is the worst, is when your skin is really oily and like you've dried it out, so it's like flaky but also like shiny and greasy and oily, and it's just a disgusting, horrible look. So yeah, I've learned that I don't need to dry my skin out. I need to control the oil. And then for a once in a while exfoliation, I originally got turned on to this from a little sample that I got from one of my Sephora orders, but it's the Ole Henriksen Pore Balance Facial Sauna Scrub, and it has clay in it. It has this really nice like eucalyptus herbal minty smell. It's got kaolin clay in it to like detoxify the skin. It's got like oil in it that hydrates your skin. It's got AHAs and BHAs, and then it's got like little granules of like sandy stuff that like really help exfoliate. And I know some people don't like to use those because they feel like they're being too harsh on your skin, but this is just amazing to use, and I love to use it in the shower. Like take a hot steamy shower and then like step out of the water and like squeeze some into my hand and then like massage it all over my face. And it because of the oil in it, it's like solid in your hand, and then when it touches hot skin it starts like liquefying immediately. But that's okay, you just rub it and massage it into your skin, and then I usually try and like hang out there for a couple minutes to kind of like leave it on, I guess, a little bit like a mask for 1 or 2 minutes, and then I wash it off. It's just the greatest. It just feels really detoxifying, and it's a fantastic spa-like experience for me, so I love using that. So then, once I'm done cleansing, I move on to my treatments. So this Skin Medica Lightera 2.0 is my holy grail, like the only product I will ever use for like pigmentation lightening. There are a ton of products on the market for this. Honestly, most of them aren't very effective. Maybe they're effective on a small scale, but this is like a powerhouse. This is like a clinical product that, well, like my dermatologist recommended it to me, so it's really fantastic. I used to use the regular Lightera, and I started using it, so a couple years ago, so my whole life up until a couple years ago, I had really bad acne. 2 years ago, I was like, this is ridiculous, like 24 years old, I shouldn't have to feel like my face is like ugly and like pimply all the time, like I have to wear makeup, there has to be something I can do. I had noticed that my acne was like 2 weeks of the month, it was horrible, like I'd have like 40 pimples on my face at any given time. And then the other 2 weeks of the month, there weren't as many pimples, but I still couldn't like not wear makeup because of the little pimple scars that had been left, which made my skin look really uneven. So I went to the dermatologist and I was like, look, like my mom took me to like a crappy dermatologist and like my primary care doctor when I was a kid, and they gave me like Retin-A and, you know, like doxycycline and minocycline and like all the typical usual culprits. Like I've used 2.5, 5%, 10% benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, you know, 10 to 15%, you know, alpha hydroxy glycolic acid, whatever. Like none of it works. Like some of it helps a little bit, but none of it has made my acne go away. And then I told her that it was like the first 2 weeks of the month, you know, it was horrible, and then the next 2 weeks it was fine. And she immediately prescribed me spironolactone, which is not a typical acne medication, but I discovered a lot of people with polycystic ovarian syndrome use it because a lot of people with polycystic ovarian syndrome have like hormonal acne. I've never been diagnosed with PCOS, but I definitely had hormonal acne, which doesn't respond to any of those typical acne treatments. So she prescribed me that spironolactone, and boom, it was like magic. Within 3 days of taking it, my face was totally clear. And then like I would get like one pimple a month, like a pimple. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious, this is so amazing. So I went back to see her a month later and I said, this is fantastic, it's amazing, it's working so well. However, now that I don't have pimples anymore, I'm wondering if there's something I can do to like make my skin clear, because even though I didn't have pimples anymore, right, I still had all the little spots and like discolorations from all the years of pimples. And she was like, oh yeah, okay. And then she gave me the Skin Medica Lightera, the regular one. And within 2 months of using that, my skin was so perfect, so beautiful, so clear. Like it was the first time in my life where I could go outside, like to the grocery store or something, and not wear makeup and not be like, oh my gosh, like I hope nobody sees me that I know, because they're gonna be like, who is that hideous girl with like pimples all over her face? So this was a huge lifesaver. So then once I started trying to conceive back in 2016, I realized that Lightera has a little bit of retinol in it, which is probably fine because it's such a small concentration. But just to be safe, because, you know, you're not supposed to use synthetic forms of vitamin A while you're pregnant, I was like, oh, I really hope they have something else, because this is like my holy grail product, because every once in a while I still do get pimples, and because I had to go off the spironolactone when I got pregnant and was trying to conceive, I was getting a little bit more pimples. Like the maca that I take helps control it, but I still do get some pimples, so you know, I do need this for maintenance. To continue to keep my skin clear even when I get a little pimple here or there and it leaves a mark. So I found out that SkinMedica makes the Lightera 2.0, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out. But I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to work as well as the original one, but it works just as well. So this is like one thing that I cannot live without. So I apply like 1 pump of this on my face morning and evening, and then I apply 3 drops of this. It's from a company called The Ordinary. It's $10 from Sephora. It's really well priced. It's Matrixyl 10% with hyaluronic acid. And Matrixyl is like a high-strength peptide that allows the skin to synthesize more collagen. And then hyaluronic acid is, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's a water-binding molecule that retains, you know, like depending on what, you know, molecular structure of hyaluronic acid is used, it can retain between 40 and, you know, 1,000 times its weight in water. So it really binds water to it, and when it's on the skin, it's binding that water onto the skin to provide hydration throughout the day. So it's like in a pump like this, and I apply 1 drop here, 1 drop here, and 1 drop here, 1 on my neck and 1 on my chest in the morning and the evening, and then I just rub it all in. It's really great. I really do feel a difference with the hydration. When I wash my makeup off in the evening, I can, and like in the morning when I wash my face, I can like feel a little bit of slipperiness from like the hydration that this product gave me. So it's a really great product. I really love it. Then in the daytime, not at night, but for the day, I use, this is another really well-known product. I use the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic serum, which it's basically like an antioxidant serum with vitamin C and vitamin E and ferulic acid, which works to basically, it's like protecting your skin against UVA and UVB rays, and it's scavenging free radicals, which could damage the cellular structure of your epidermis of your skin. So I really love that product. I use it every morning. I put like 1 drop here, 1 drop here, 1 drop here, 1 drop here, 1 drop here. So 5 drops total. And it says that it stays active on your skin for the next 72 hours. So that's really great. And then I also use for my glycolic acid, or my like alpha hydroxy acid treatments, I use this Le Weekend de Chanel, which is a great product that's surprisingly affordable. And it comes in a pump, and so I put 1 pump here, 1 pump here, and do it like that. Then I massage it into my face, and it's just a really great, like, gentle but effective alpha hydroxy acid treatment, which brightens your skin by helping turn over the dead skin cells. And then of course when you exfoliate with this, you're getting rid of all of that, and it really helps keep my pores clear. You know, because my skin is so oily, people with oily skin tend to have quite large pores, and I have very large pores here, kind of like on my forehead, and you know, like sometimes they get clogged with excess sebum, but regular use of this really helps me not have a bunch of clogged pores, which is great. And then for my moisturizer, I use this Le Lift Crème Fine de Chanel, which is a really nice, so they have like 3 versions of this. They have creme riche, then they have a normal creme, and then they have the creme fine. So this creme fine is supposed to be like a little bit lighter weight. Like the creme riche feels really like thick and like buttery and kind of oily, and because my skin is so oily, I just didn't want to add all that extra weight to it, especially not in the morning. But this has a really great kind of light texture. It absorbs really easily, but at the same time, it's not like, I don't know, there are some creams on the market right now that are like water creams where I look at the ingredients and I'm like, this is not really delivering any hydration. It's like all evaporating off of your skin within 5 minutes after applying it. But this, I can really feel the product absorbing. I can't speak to the lifting properties of it, but in general, you know, it's a good moisturizer and I enjoy using it. And then, yeah, for the daytime, I always finish off with my Shiseido Urban Environment UV Protection Cream, Broad Spectrum, SPF 40. And I love this little packaging that it comes in. It's very easy to use. You really don't need very much of it. Like, I'll like apply this much and I'll do that here. So I'll do like 3 or 4, maybe 5 of that amount to cover my face. And I apply it like I do foundation. I just kind of go here, here, oops, like here, 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 and here. And then I rub it in. And it's interesting. I would love to hear y'all's feedback on this because, like, so I follow Sabrina over at the Beauty Lookbook. I've read her blog for like, oh gosh, maybe like, has it been that long? Like 7 or 8 years since like before she switched the new website and she was like really old school and like Cafe Makeup was still a blogger. But anyway, I've noticed Sabrina talks about how like some sunscreens leave a white cast on her face and how hideous it is, and like I've never had that problem. I do notice like when I apply this, it does leave a whitish cast in the sense that like it's white, and so like it lightens my skin a little bit, but then when I put foundation over it, it's totally fine. And like I've never had an issue. Like I photograph myself all the time and I've never felt like it gives me a weird look in photographs or like makes me look weird at all. But then again, I have pretty fair skin and Sabrina has darker, more olivey skin, so that might be a factor. But yeah, so I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts on, you know, if you feel like sunscreens can leave a white cast. I don't feel like it does. I rub it in really well. I make sure to massage it in so that there's no white streaks, and then I apply my foundation over it, and it applies. It's beautiful and perfect. All of these products work really, really well under makeup. I don't usually use a primer, only for special events, so yeah, I never have any problem with my foundations performing throughout the day with any of these products under them. But yeah, so that's my skincare routine. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that whole white cast from sunscreen issue. If you feel like that happens to you or if that doesn't happen to you. And yeah, I'd love for you to weigh in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!